Activity 1.5 is called decision time, and the skills you learn in Activity 1.4, coding with conditions, are going to play a big role in how you solve Activity 1.5, decision time. You can read through the essential question, basically the same as we've done before. How do computer scientists design and develop mobile apps that meet desired needs? The desired needs in this case would be a company or a business has asked you to create a specific app that they want certain requirements to be met. The germ guide here, you don't need to download that because you've already created the germ guide in Activity 1.3, so don't re-download it again. You're going to have to start over if you do it that way. It takes you through and it talks a little bit about conditionals and what are conditional statements. You should have already made in Activity 1.4 some different conditional flowcharts and conditional algorithms as well. First part here, opening your app. Open your germ guide app for My Projects. So you're going to the App Inventor website. Again, don't download it because you've already created your first germ guide app. I'm going to go to where it says My Projects. And on My Projects, you will find the one that says Germ Guide. So if you click on Germ Guide, it's going to load the project that you've already created. Now, once that's loading, it does say download the Germ Guide here. This would be if you did not make Activity 1.3 for some reason. This just shows you how to download it again. Take some time and read through and do exactly what the directions tell you. It's going to kind of set everything up for you as far as why does it not do what you think it's supposed to do? And here's some questions. Why aren't you able to pause the audio? So really look at the code and the blocks to see, is it set up that way to do what it's supposed to, or have you not set that up yet? This goes through and it shows you when measles button is clicked, what happens? When meningitis button is clicked, what happens? So this is a very basic flow chart, and you would just write that in your notes and you can just fill that out, not too hard, not too long. It would take just a little bit of time and a little bit of thinking about what happens after I do this. Making decisions, and this is going to show you a conditional statement again. And then when will action A be performed? So if this is action A, something is triggered and then action A occurs. When will action B1 be performed? B1 is right here. Now remember, a different word for yes in this case would be it is true. So if condition is true, then this occurs. If the condition is not true, meaning false, this occurs. So you have to think about that. Boolean logic, we've already talked a little bit about that. This is known as the mutator, this little blue button right here. So if you drag out an if-then block, you're going to want to click the little mutator and you can add in an else. So if you think about this, zoom in here a little bit. This basically means if a certain situation occurs, then you do this event right here. If this event doesn't occur, then you do the else or the false part of that. This is just taking you through and it's showing you a little bit more about the sound and how the sound is supposed to work. And you'll find out quickly it doesn't work the way it's intended to work because you have to add code to it. When measles button is clicked, is the measles player playing? If it is yes, then what would you do? If not, what else would you do? Coding this behavior, and this is going to walk you through how to set up the basic pause feature for Activity 1.5. At this point right here, you're not done with the app. It's already giving you all of this code. And this code is read this way. When measles button is clicked, so if I tap the measles button, my audio starts to play. If measles player is playing, then it's going to pause it. So you have to think about, I'll show you on this right here. So if the measles is playing and I push it, according to this code, it's going to pause it. If I don't push it again, it's going to just run. So what that looks like is if measles is playing and I don't touch it, then it's just going to continue playing. If I tap it, then it's going to pause. Completing the pause behavior, it shows you how to do that, how to copy code. And then the biggest part here is to add code to your program to stop it. What that looks like is if meningitis is playing and I click measles, then meningitis audio stops. If measles is playing and I click meningitis, this audio stops. So you have to figure out where you would put in those stop audios. The optional extension is how you can drag code from one screen, copy it to the backpack, open up the next screen, and drag that code over. This question here you will find in PowerSchool Learning. Basically what you're doing for this question is you're going to arrange the blocks. Now you can't do that because you don't have the ability to move these. You're going to describe the layout for the blocks in order to make this work. So when checked, it's going to set the button's background image to display a dog picture. If it's not checked, meaning the false part, it's going to display the cat picture. All right, thanks a lot.